So today's tutorial is gonna be huge. Today I'll be showing you guys how to make this beautiful atmospheric and moody illustration with beautiful lighting and shadows. And we are also gonna use my realistic texture brushes. So let's begin. So this is the sketch that we are going to follow today, and it will always sit on the top layer. First, let me set the background color. By the way, I have given the link to the color palette in the description, so you can download it from there. This is the vertical symmetry tool that we will use to make the tea kettle, which is the main subject of our illustration. In the same way, we have to make every part of the kettle on the separate layer. Now we will start shading. First, we will make a clipping mask on the body layer. The texture we need is called scratched metal texture. It will give it an old rustic look, and this texture is from my realistic texture pack. Click on the card or the link in the description if you want to check it out. To make some dent on the surface, we have to keep in mind the direction of the light hitting on the object. Now we have to shade other parts of the kettle using the same process. This side of the handle is behind the body of kettle, so we have to erase it. We also have to make the shadow of this handle. Now let's make the wooden part of the handle using the same vertical symmetry tool. To give it a wooden look, I'll use the sawdust texture brush. We have to merge all the layers. But first we have to merge every clipping mask layer. Then we will merge all into a single layer. Now we will make this jar on the side, which is made up of a ceramic like material that has a very smooth surface. So for this we will use the soft airbrush for shading. Here we will use the paper texture brush to give it a slightly rough surface, but not much. We will also merge them into a single layer. Now let's make a wooden tabletop. Again, we will use the sawdust texture brush for tabletop. To make the shadows, we can use multiply blend mode on the shadows layer. It will make it darker according to the layer under it. So for the wall texture, we will use the paper texture brush. As we have done before, we will use the multiply blend mode for the shadows layer. We will make the tiles wall. The process that I am going to use to get the tiles look is very simple and easy. By using the soft airbrush, we have to make lines of light color for highlights and dark color for shadows. Let's see. Now if we reduce the opacity of the both layer, we can get the look of square tiles. Now we have to make the sunlight on this wall, which is also a very simple process. First, we have to make the shape of the light. we apply the blur filter to it. After that, we have to change the blend mode to overlay. And then duplicate the layer 2 times and reduce the opacity of the top layer. Now we have to cut out the shadows of our objects from the light. Now the last thing left is the steam coming out of the kettle. We will use the soft air brush to make steam and liquify tool to shape it. Now we duplicate it and change the blend mode to overlay. And now we are finally done. Do let me know in the comments what do you think about it. Goodbye for now.